at NECANN, Minnesota with Parisa, Mansouri-Rad, and I wanted to ask you the question that I've been asking everyone. So what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in the industry?
I wish I had known to fact check people, not only on what they promise or like maybe their reputation, just do a little bit of research before partnering, collabing, and doing any type of business with new people.
Trust but verify, we say.
Yeah, sounds good, looks good, but is it good? So, just doing a little bit more digging before getting in too deep. I think we highlighted that today on the panels as well. It's like doing a little bit of research before we move fast. So
yes, great advice. We had some great panels here at the Brunch Women's Lounge today. Thank you so much, Parisa.
Thank you, Dina.
I'm here with Erica Hilali, and I wanted to ask you the question that I've been asking everyone. So what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
Yeah, so I've been a cannabis banker now for 6 years, and now I've been able to come back home to Minnesota and lead the cannabis program at Bridgewater Bank. And I think for me, it's been really rewarding to see how collaborative everybody in this community is, whether it's the women, we're standing in the women's lounge at NECANN, or even just on the banking side. Like now in Minnesota, it's a new market, and there's different banks here, luckily, that are serving the industry, and just like how we can all ask each other questions and figure out what is the best way to do this, how can we help the community the most. And so that collaboration, I think, is something that I find really rewarding, and I'm really glad to see that in our community.
I love that. That was one of the things I recognized when I came over to cannabis too. It's more about the collaboration than competition, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Erica.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm here at NECANN, Minnesota with Angela Hochberger, and I wanted to ask you the question that I've been asking everyone. So what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
Well, what I wish I knew in cannabis is that it is not as glamorous as it always seems. It is very hard work. You have to have a lot of resilience, a lot of grit in this industry. I think people get into it sometimes because they think it's glamorous, because it's the culture of it, which is cool. There's a lot of really awesome events, and it's totally different convention style and parties and after parties here. So that's pretty neat. You meet some really interesting people, but it's hard work. And so if you're going to get into this industry because you think it's a quick way up or a quick glow up, it's not. It takes a lot of hard work, and if you prepare yourself for that, you'll be fine in it.
Great advice. Thank you so much, Angela.
Thank you.
I'm here at NECANN, Minnesota with Veronika, Alfaro.
Okay.
Really excited to ask you the question that I've been asking everyone.
Yes.
So you're a Minnesota operator, a little bit newer to cannabis, but enough experience to tell me, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
Realizing all the different hats I was going to be wearing, and understanding that there's even like a policy advocacy side of that I'd be wearing, not knowing when I started my business that would be a part of it.
Yes.
And a big, like, if we don't have policy, how are we even going to do what we're doing? I was a part of Amen is Ready that helped legalize, and we wouldn't have that if we weren't a part of that.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
Thank you for your work. Advocacy in cannabis is so important.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm here with Jennifer Makris, and we are at NECANN, Minnesota. Excited to ask you the question that I've been asking everyone. Okay. What do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
Well, how much time do we have, first and foremost, right? So my journey started about 10 years ago when Florida legalized, and I wish I knew then what I know now is that it's okay to ask for the business and ask for what I'm worth. Because so many times I didn't ask for it, and then I left opportunities on the table, right? So that fear of missing out was tenfold. And so knowing that my space was I identified my opportunity, my role, my space, and it's okay to ask for that, because what I'm providing is something niche, something specialized that not a lot of people are doing. So to go out without fear. So I wish I would have told myself then not to be fearful and ask for the business.
Well, boy, are you doing it now,
Yes,
girl.
It only took a couple of years. We're fine though.
I love it. Thank you so much, Jen. I'm here with Tammy Lundberg at NECANN, Minnesota. Really excited to ask you the question that I've been asking everyone. What do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
I wish we would have known to make as many connections with other potential interested dispensaries and growers right off the bat. And we didn't have that connection, and I wish we would have had that.
That's a great point. And I always say cannabis is about collaboration, not competition. And I think that's a great example.
Yeah. So I wish we would have known that, and I think that that would have put us a little bit further ahead than we are now.
Sure.
But
well, congrats on your opening, and thank you so much for
Thank
answering
you.
my question today with Adelia Fakhri at NECANN, Minnesota. And I'm super excited to ask you the question that I've been asking everyone. What do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
Again, this is a great question. I'm so glad you're asking everybody because we're going to learn so much from this. One of the things that I wish I knew is just how much you are going to have to be ready to pivot in this industry, and to how busy you get. There's so many things and so many directions you can be pulled in, and especially for all of us, because we're so passionate about this plant, you just feel like you want to say yes to everything. And so from the pivoting and wanting to always say yes, you learn a lot about who you are, and also you learn how to understand what aligns with your mission, your values, and your voice. And I think it just makes you a stronger entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur outside of this industry and then coming in, I thought it was tough, just entrepreneurship in general. Being an entrepreneur in this space has been really eye-opening. So again, just being ready to know that you are going to have to pivot, and you are going to make mistakes, and it's okay, and you can keep pivoting until you get the right thing that aligns with what you are building. And if you ever get confused, always go back to your mission and values of why you're doing this and what you're building.
I love that. There are a lot of distractions in cannabis, and I think it's important that we, focus on our mission, but still being able to pivot to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm here with Chung in NECANN, Minnesota. Super excited to ask her the question for new people to the industry that I've been asking. What is something that you would like to ask someone more experienced in the industry?
I've been a cannabis consumer for a long time, and here in the state of Minnesota where it hasn't been legal. And so to me, it's, I don't know life with cannabis as a legitimate industry. And now that it's illegal, I want to work in this industry, but I don't have experience other than just my own personal experience with the plant. And I don't know where to start. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know what type of jobs are available to me. I'm a marketer by trade. I think every industry needs marketers, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to talk to people and ask that exact question, which I've already asked 50 times today.
I'm so glad you're here, Chelsea, and asking that question to people, because we need more people in the industry and more great marketers.
Yeah, great. Here I am.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm here with Stephanie Powell at NECANN, Minnesota. Super excited to ask you the question that I've been asking everyone. So Stephanie, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
Oh my goodness. Well, I kind of had two different starts. So I have a deeper story that's probably good for campfires and sort of moments when we're not on camera. But when I actually started in the industry 10 years ago, I started in Humboldt County. So I quit my corporate life and booked a one-way ticket and ended up in the hills in California. So I was up in the mountains and really just got to know the plant. And so I think at that point, what I wish I knew is that I wish I knew that this would lead to a global career. I'm 10 years this year, and I wish I could go back and talk to myself on the farm where I was more of a lost soul, just wandering the earth and then getting to know the plant. That time there where I got to really reset my soul and really just be in nature and in the forest and just get to know the plant and get to know the industry would then eventually lead to becoming the founder of a global company like Emerald Lane Recruitment, and now working in 12 countries and 8 states. It's wild. It's wild to even think that. So that's what I would know then is hey, trust me, this is, and I would have learned more, right? I would have learned more about the plants and the genetics, and I worked with the growers and I did that, but I was sort of in my re-healing and getting to know myself more. So that's what I would have done is get to know the plant more, get to be submerged, because I was so submerged in it, right? So the first thing would have been learn, you're going somewhere, make sure you learn as much as possible. And then when I started in recruiting 8 years ago, in 2018, 2019, I think the thing that I wish I'd known, and I knew it and I've done it, but it's really about this industry, I say, is like a snowball. It's you need to put the reps in. It's you need to show up, and it's going to be hard, and you're going to be a new kid. And anytime when I started, I was still new in the market, and and then COVID happened, and new places, and now with Emerald, every time I go to a new state, a new country, you get to be new again. And so, but all of that comes together, and you really just get to practice your craft and get good at it and make new people and make new friends. And so it becomes that like snowball analogy where it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And on the days where it's like so hard, like, I want to quit, I want to leave, like lean into that and trust that it's just going to get easier with time, because you're going to be doing those reps. You're going to have the muscle memory. You're going to have the connections around you. You're going to have somebody you met 4 years ago to a show. Suddenly you have a business deal to do, or a partnership to make, or a friend to call, or you bump into a familiar face in a different state or a different country. And so it's putting that time in, like time and time and time again, and just remembering that it's like, we're doing this for the long haul. And so anything you do, like there's a future gain, not even future gain, but like just trust that every seed you plant now will grow and blossom into something in the future, because that's the power and the beauty of staying in the industry and just really getting embedded and like, sowing those seeds and then like doing the work to help them grow.
From planting those seeds in Humboldt to global recruitment in cannabis. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
I'm here at NECANN, Minnesota, really excited with Stella Morrison to ask the question that I've been asking everyone. So Stella, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
When I started in cannabis, I wish I knew that cannabis was a business in the first place, which is something that dawned on me very suddenly, and it's kind of the thing that thrust me into being an agency owner in 2017. Understanding that I come from the East Coast, right? New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey, lived in New York for a long time. They had very limited medical programs, and you knew there was a medical program. It'd be great if we could buy it like California, whatever. It was very, very, very different vibe. And when we realized it, my business partners and I realized this was a business. I'm not going to say by accident, but almost it was like a second revelation. Our origin story, my co-founder and I, we met in the newsroom, and he moved on to a publication where he was writing on the cannabis beat, and people were cold calling him, be like, we saw you wrote this article about cannabis. Can you help us with like your marketing or whatever? He called me. I was already an agency owner at the time. He called me, and then we realized, oh my God, this is a business. And then a couple weeks later, I was on a flight to the Pacific Northwest. I was at Seattle Hemp Fest specifically. I was at Seattle Hemp Fest and seeing culture next to like marketing people and on tents and booths. It slowly kind of dawned on me, like, it's not just like a place for advocates or people who are just trying to grow. This is like, the cannabis business is a business. And when that hit me, it was everything was off the table after that. So I think knowing that, I'm not gonna say not understanding, but knowing that cannabis is a business in the first place, I think was the thing that kind of surprised me when I started out. And definitely different 9 years later, definitely not the case anymore, but you can tell by the folks who kind of come in and realize, oh no, this is a lot of work and we're not going to all be millionaires overnight. You kind of realize who's in it for the long haul and how they know what to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cannabis, we live the culture, but cannabis is also a business. So,
and there's room for these two to coexist, right? Yes. And that's the other thing that I think you see a lot of that at odds. It's a problem when people who are purely on the business end ignore the fact there's a culture. And to an extent, I'm going to say to an extent with an asterisk, the culture can ignore the fact that this is a business. There's nothing wrong if you're running ethically. There's nothing wrong with being in business, right? There's nothing wrong with it. But I understand why people are jaded a little bit. But it's like, how do we kind of learn to coexist and work together if we all kind of are coming to the table with the right intentions?
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Stella.
Absolutely, Dina. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.